Now we are going to discuss the FAQs of revised scheme of education and training for CA new course. So first question is regarding the nomenclature of all the three levels of exams in CA new course. These nomenclatures are फाउंडेशन, इंटरमीडिएट एंड फाइनल. तो दो नॉमेनक्लेचर चेंज कर दिए. पहले जो सीपीटी था, नाउ इट विल बिकम सीए फाउंडेशन, एंड विच वाज आईपीसीसी, it will become CA intermediate course. Second question is, when will be the first examination going to be held for all the three levels in revised scheme? So the first exam under the new revised syllabus for all the three levels will be held in the month of May 2018. Next question is, when can I register for the foundation course? So for registering to the foundation course, so any students who have already appeared in the 12th class examination can register himself for the foundation course. But he can give the exam of foundation course only after clearing the 12th class examination. Next question is that if a student has already appeared in the 12th class examination and his results are still awaited, but he has registered himself before 30th June in the CPT exams, then he will be eligible to appear for CPT December 2017 exam. But if he has not registered for CA course till 30th June, then he will compulsorily required to register into new foundation course from 1st July 2017 onwards, and his first attempt for CA foundation will be in May 2018. Next question is, suppose a student has already registered for foundation course on 1st of July 2017. So when he will be eligible to appear for the foundation examination? So there are two conditions for becoming eligible to appear in CA foundation examination. First condition, you must have completed 4 months of study period. इसका मतलब अगर आपने registration आज किया है यहाँ पर, तो at least 4 months का gap होना चाहिए from the date of registration till the examination. That is the month of the examination. इसके बीच में 4 months का gap होना चाहिए, and you must have qualified the class 12th examination. Now the next question is very important. When are the foundation examinations held, and what is the cutoff date of registration in foundation course? So you have to note that foundation examination will be held in the month of May and November every year. So please note, it is not June or December as it has to be in earlier CPT scheme. And the cutoff dates for becoming eligible to appear in May or November CA foundation exam is 31st December and 30th June. So for example, if you want to appear in May 2018 CA foundation exam, then you must register in the CA foundation course on or before 31st of December 2017. So there should be a minimum study period of 4 months. You can see, if you register on or before 31st December, then there will be a study period of January, February, March and April. There are 4 months gap, and then you can appear in the May 2018 foundation exam. Similarly, if a person wants to appear in a CA foundation exam of November 2018, then he should register on or before 30th of June 2018. Next case is, suppose a student has already given the 12th class examination in the month of March or April 2017, and his result were declared in the month of May 2017. So which exam he can get for CA foundation course? So can he register for CA foundation course, that is the new course? So the answer is yes, he can register for CA Foundation course on or after 1st July 2017. But the examination for CA Foundation, the first examination for CA Foundation course will be held in May 2018. So after registering on 1st of July, he will get his first attempt of CA Foundation course in May 2018. Because there is no foundation course exam will be held in the month of November 2017, he will have to wait till May 2018 for its first attempt of CA Foundation course. Next is how many papers are there in CA Foundation course. So there are total 4 papers in CA Foundation course. Now, what is the examination pattern in foundation course? There are total 4 papers, and out of 4 papers, 2 papers are subjective type papers. That is, paper 1 and paper 2 will be subjective type papers, and 2 papers, which are paper 3 and paper 4, will be objective type paper. Now the next question is there any negative marking system in CA Foundation course exams just like CPT? So answer is yes, it is partly true, because negative marking will be applicable only for paper 3 and paper 4, which are based on objective type questions. So there is no negative marking for subjective papers, that is paper number 1 and 2, but negative marking will be there for paper number 3 and 4, where the objective types of question will be asked. So negative marking will be there for paper number 3 and 4, and there will be no negative marking in paper 1 and 2. Next question is, what are the papers in CA Foundation course? Paper number 1 is the principle and practice of accounting, that will be of 100 marks. So each paper will be of 100 marks. So first paper we can say it is an accounting paper. Second paper is business law and business correspondence and reporting. So this will be of 100 marks, but it is divided into 2 parts, or you can say 2 sections. Section A will cover the business law, which carries 60 marks, and section B will cover the business correspondence and reporting, which will carry 40 marks. So as we have already seen, paper 1 and paper 2 are based on subjective type of questions and not based on objective type of question, and there will be no negative marking in paper 1 and paper 2. Now let's see paper number 3. It covers business mathematics and logical reasoning and statistic. Total there are 100 marks. It is also divided into 2 parts. Part 1 covers the business mathematics and logical reasoning, which carry total 60 marks. So this logical reasoning is newly added into this new course, and there is a second part of statistics which will cover 40 marks. Next is paper 4. It is for business economics and business and commercial knowledge. Total 100 marks paper, and it is also divided into 2 parts. Part 1 covers business economics, which carry 60 marks, and part 2 covers business and commercial knowledge, which carry 40 marks. So these 2 papers, that is paper 3 and paper 4, will be based on objective types of questions. So the detail of this CA Foundation course I have covered into a separate video lecture, so you can watch that video lectures to have an insight of this CA Foundation course syllabus. Next question is, how can I qualify foundation examination? इसका मतलब आप एग्जाम कैसे क्लियर कर सकते हैं? So there are 2 conditions to clear the CA Foundation examination. First condition, that you must secure 50% aggregate marks. इसका मतलब टोटल जो CA Foundation की एग्जाम होगी वो होगी 400 marks की, and out of 400 marks you should secure at least 200 marks or more. And second condition is that you must have secured at least 40% marks in each subject individually. So there are 4 papers in the CA Foundation, and in each paper you should have secured at least 40 marks or above. So if you have scored, for example, if you have scored, let's say 220 marks total, but you have secured only 39 marks in one of the papers of CA Foundation, then your result will be fail. Why this is so? Because first condition you have cleared, that is 220 marks, that is aggregate 50% you have scored, but you have not fulfilled the second condition, that is 40% marks in each paper, because you have secured only 39 marks in paper 1. Second scene is that you have secured minimum 40 marks in all the papers, but you have not fulfilled the first condition of aggregate 50% marks. For example, you have secured total 199 marks and you have secured 40 and above marks in each paper. In this case also the result will be fail. It means you have to satisfy both the condition. You should get at least 200 marks in total and you should get at least 40 marks in each paper to clear the CA Foundation exam. Now next question is, when can I register for intermediate course? So with effect from 1st of July 2017 and onwards, a student can register for intermediate course if he has already qualified the old PE1 exam or CPT exam or the new foundation exam, or if he has not cleared any of these exams, still he can register for intermediate course through direct entry route. That is, if he has cleared graduation or post-graduation, or if he has cleared the intermediate level exam of CS or CMA course, he can directly register himself with the intermediate course under the direct entry route. Next question is that if a student has already cleared the CPT exams, can he join for CA intermediate course and can appear in the intermediate exam? So he can appear in the May 2018 intermediate examination if he has registered himself on 1st of July 2017 for intermediate course. So he has to complete 8 months of study period before he appears in the May 2018 exams. It means there is a gestation period of 8 months before he is eligible to appear in the intermediate exam from the date of registration for the intermediate course. It means there should be a gap of 8 months between exam of intermediate course and the registration of intermediate course. Next question is that if a student has already appeared for CPT exam in June 2017, can he register himself in the existing IPCC course? तो आपको यहाँ पर याद रखना है, अब आप IPCC में रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं कर सकते with effect from 1st of July 2017. You compulsorily will have to register yourself in the new intermediate course after clearing the CPT exam. Next question is, if a student has qualified CPT exam in July 2017, इसका मतलब इसने स्टूडेंट ने एग्जाम जो दी थी वो जून 17 में दी थी एग्जाम CPT और उसका जो रिजल्ट आया जुलाई 2017 में, he has cleared the CPT. Now he will have to register himself compulsorily in intermediate course only. Next question is, if a student has qualified the CPT June 2017 exam, इसका मतलब जून 2017 की जो CPT के एग्जाम है, he has cleared this exam, his results are out in let's say July 2017, then he should register himself in the intermediate course on or before September 2017 to be eligible to appear in the intermediate exams which will be held in the month of May 2018. So there is a gestation period of 8 months which is required from date of registration into the intermediate course, and for appearing in the exam of intermediate course there will be a gap of 8 months. So if a student has registered himself in the intermediate exam on or before September 2017, then he will be eligible for intermediate exam which will be held in May 2018, because there will be a gestation period of 8 months, that is September, October, November, December and January, February, March, April. And in May he can appear in the intermediate exam. Now let's talk about the cutoff dates for registration in the intermediate course. So the cutoff dates are 1st September and 1st March for the attempt in May and November. For example, if you want to appear in intermediate exam which will be held in May 2018, then you must register yourself in intermediate course on or before 1st of September 2017 under the foundation route. Similarly, if you want to appear in November 2018 intermediate exam, then you must register in the intermediate course on or before 1st March 2018 under the foundation route. It means there will be a gestation period of 8 months between exam and registration. So under foundation route, there is no need to commence your practical training before appearing in the intermediate exam. You can directly appear in the intermediate exam without commencing your practical training. Now let's see, if a student has registered in the intermediate course through direct entry route, then when he can give his first exam of intermediate course. So you have to note it down that there are two main conditions for appearing in the intermediate exam for direct entry route students. First, they have to finish the 4 weeks ICI TSS, that is the integrated course on information technology and soft skills, and also they have to commence their practical training, and not only commence, they should finish 9 months of practical training before appearing in the first intermediate exam. For example, if you are a direct entry student and you want to appear in the May 2018 intermediate exam, then you should commence your practical training on or before 1st of August 2017. So there will be a total 9 months of training before you appear in the May 2019 exam, and you also have to complete 4 weeks of ICI TSS training. Similarly, if a student want to appear in November 2018 intermediate exam, then he should commence his practical training on or before 1st February 2018. So there will be a total 9 months of training before he appears in the November 2018 exam. Apart from this, he also have to go through ICI TSS 4 weeks program. Remember, this commencement of practical training and completing 9 months of training is applicable only in case of a direct entry student. Now next question is, if a student has registered to intermediate course through foundation or CPT route, whether he can commence his practical training? It means for commencement of the practical training under foundation route, the student should have finished 4 weeks of ICI TSS and should have cleared at least one group of the intermediate course. One group means any of the group of inter, either group 1 you can clear or you can clear group 2, and you can start your practical training. Now next question is, when a direct entry route student can commence his practical training? So there is a one condition: after registration of intermediate, you have to successfully complete 4 weeks of ICI TSS, then you can commence your practical training and complete 9 months of practical training before you are eligible to appear in the intermediate exams. So same rule apply to direct entry students who have registered for intermediate after qualifying the inter-level exam of company secretaries. That is, they have cleared CS executive or they have cleared the intermediate of a CMA course, then also the same rule apply that they can commence their practical training after clearing either of the both groups of the intermediate examination and also completing the 4 weeks of ICI TSS training. Now let's see what are the papers in intermediate exam. There are total 8 papers in intermediate course. These are divided into 2 groups. Group 1 contain 4 papers and group 2 contain 4 papers. So in group 1 there are 4 papers. Paper 1 is for accounting, 100 marks. Paper 2 is for corporate law and other laws of 100 marks. This is again divided into 2 parts. Part 1 will be covering company law of 60 marks and part 2 will cover other laws of 40 marks. Paper 3 will be of cost and management accounting of 100 marks and paper 4 will be of taxation paper of 100 marks, where again it is divided into 2 sections. Section A is income tax law, which is of 60 marks, and section B is of indirect taxes of 40 marks. Now let's see group 2 papers of intermediate course. There are total 4 papers in group 2 as well. Paper number 5 is advanced accounting, 100 marks. Paper 6 is auditing and assurance, 100 marks. Paper 7 is enterprise information system and strategic management of 100 marks. This is also divided into 2 parts. Section A is covering enterprise information system 50 marks and section B covers strategic management of 50 marks. Then there is the paper number 8, that is the 4th paper of group 2, that is for financial management and economics for finance of 100 marks. This is again divided into 2 parts. Section A, financial management of 60 marks and section B is of economics for finance for 40 marks. Now let's see the papers in CA final level exam, that is CA final exam new syllabus. There are total 8 papers in CA final exams and these are divided into 2 groups, group 1 and group 2. In group 1 there are total 4 papers. Paper 1 is of financial reporting of 100 marks. Paper 2 is of strategic financial management of 100 marks. Paper 3 of advanced auditing and professional ethics of 100 marks and paper 4 is of corporate and economics law of 100 marks, which is divided into 2 parts. Part 1 covers the corporate laws of 70 marks and part 2 covers economic laws of 30 marks. Now let's see group 2 papers of the CA final course. There are total 4 papers in it. First paper is paper number 5, that is strategic cost management and performance evaluation, 100 marks. Paper number 6 is very unique because it is an elective paper. It means students will have to elect one of these papers as paper number 6. So what are the choices? Let's see the choices given by the institute. There are total 6 choices. First is risk management paper, second is international taxation, third is economic laws, fourth is financial services and capital market paper, and fifth is global financial reporting standard paper, and the sixth is multidisciplinary case studies paper. So there will be a big question in front of student to which paper they should choose as a paper number 6. If you ask me, I will suggest the paper like economic law will be my first priority. Then the second priority will be international taxation. Third priority will be global financial reporting standards. So if you are law savvy, then you should choose economic law. If you are good in taxation, choose international taxation. And if you are interested in accounting, then you should choose global financial reporting standards. However, you can choose any other paper also like risk management or financial service and capital markets and multidisciplinary case studies. Now after this there is a paper number 7, that is for direct tax law of 70 marks and international taxation of 30 marks. So direct tax is the first part of this paper, carry 70 marks, and part 2 of this paper, international taxation, which will carry 30 marks. Then there will be a paper number 8, which is for indirect tax laws of 100 marks. There are 2 parts. Part 1 will be for goods and service tax for 75 marks and part 2 will be for customs and foreign direct policy of 25 marks. Next question is when a student can register for new CA final course. So on or after 1st July 2017, any student can register for CA final course who have cleared the intermediate exam or who have cleared the IPCC exams. So after registering into the CA final course, when a student can appear in the CA final exams. So they says that during the last 6 months of the practical training, a student is eligible to appear in the CA final exam provided he has successfully completed 4 weeks of advanced ICI TSS. So there will be 2 courses of ICI TSS. One will be for intermediate level and another will be for final levels. Both will be of 4 weeks duration that the student have to complete before eligible to be appear in the exams. Now next question is, what is the duration of practical training? The practical training will be of 3 years. Another question is, if a student has registered only for one group, either group 1 और ग्रुप 2 ऑफ द IPCC कोर्स, यानी इसने रजिस्ट्रेशन केवल एक ही ग्रुप का लिया था और 1 जुलाई के बाद अब वो सेकंड ग्रुप का रजिस्ट्रेशन करना चाहता है तो क्या होगा? तो यहाँ पर इंस्टीट्यूट कहता है कि अगर आपने IPCC का कोई भी एक ग्रुप में रजिस्ट्रेशन किया था और दूसरे ग्रुप में अगर आपको रजिस्ट्रेशन करना है तो 30 जून 2017 के पहले आप दूसरे ग्रुप में रजिस्ट्रेशन करा सकते हैं एंड यू विल बी कंटिन्यू इन द एग्जिस्टिंग स्कीम ऑफ CA कोर्स, दैट इज IPCC के अटेम्प्ट आप दे सकते हैं जितने भी अटेम्प्ट्स अवेलेबल रहेंगे। बट अगर आपने ग्रुप 1 में रजिस्ट्रेशन किया था IPCC कोर्स में और अब आप ग्रुप 2 में रजिस्ट्रेशन करना चाहते हैं आफ्टर 1 जुलाई 2017, देन इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल। From 1st July 2017 onwards, you will have to compulsorily register in the new intermediate course. Next question भी इससे रिलेटेड है। यहाँ पर ये कह रहे हैं कि एक ही ग्रुप में रजिस्ट्रेशन कराया था IPCC के और मई 2017 में उसकी एग्जाम भी दे दी है, but he is not able to qualify this May 2017 exam for group 1 and he want to register for group 2 in the new intermediate course. Is it possible? So they say no, you cannot appear in both existing as well as revised scheme. इसका मतलब एक ग्रुप आपने रजिस्ट्रेशन ले रखा है IPCC का और ग्रुप 2 के लिए आपने इंटरमीडिएट का रजिस्ट्रेशन ले रखा है, ऐसा पॉसिबल नहीं है। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है कि अ स्टूडेंट हैज कंप्लीटेड फर्स्ट और सेकंड ईयर ऑफ आर्टिकलशिप and still he has not registered for the CA final course. So whether he has to register in the new CA final course? Yes, after 1st July, that is 1st July 2017 or thereafter, the student will have to register only under the new CA final course. अगर आपने 30 जून 2017 के पहले रजिस्ट्रेशन करा लिया था ओल्ड CA फाइनल कोर्स में तो आप रिमेनिंग अटेम्प्ट दे सकते हैं ओल्ड CA फाइनल कोर्स के। अगर नहीं रजिस्ट्रेशन कराया था तो अब आपको न्यू CA फाइनल कोर्स में ही रजिस्टर कराना पड़ेगा। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज दैट इफ अ स्टूडेंट इज इन IPCC एंड ही हैज ऑलरेडी क्लियर्ड ग्रुप 1 ऑफ द IPCC, he has already registered for the articleship in the month of March 2017, then when can he give the exam of second group? So they say that you can give the second group exam in the month of November 2017 in the old syllabus, provided you have already registered for IPCC group 2 on or before 30th June 2017. Now there is an important question which is coming up now. The case is like if a student have already cleared the group 1 of the IPCC exam and he has already appeared in group 2 of the IPCC in May 2017, has already covered practical training or he is in the last 6 months of his practical training and assuming that he has cleared the IPCC Group 2 also in May 2017, then when he will be able to appear for the CA final exam? So as we have already know that the first paper of CA final exam will be held in the month of May 2018. So whether this student will have to wait for May 2018 or there will be a special final course exam will be conducted in the month of November 2017 itself for such type of cases, the institute is considering this aspect and will come up with a separate clarification on this issue. Now another question is related to CPT. अगर आपने CPT की एग्जाम क्लियर कर ली है, let's say December 16 या उसके पहले अटेम्प्ट देके आपने क्लियर कर ली थी, but you have not registered for the IPCC till now. So till 30th of June 2017 you have not registered yourself for IPCC. Now after or on or after 1st July 2017 you will have to compulsorily register yourself in intermediate course. It means if you have already registered for IPCC course before or on or before 30th June 2017, then you can continue your IPCC course till the exams are being conducted by the institute for IPCC course, and clear those IPCC exams, and then you can compulsorily register under the new CA final course. Now another important question is related to revalidation of your registration. So if a student is having a valid registration for CPT, IPCC or final course as on 1st July 2017, but if his registration expires before taking up exams, so whether he can continue in the existing scheme of course or he will have to register in the new scheme. So institute says that the revalidation under existing scheme can be done even after 1st July 2017. यानी अगर आपका registration already है old courses में और अगर वो एक्सपायर हो गया है तो आप उसको रीवैलिडेट करा सकते हैं अंडर द ओल्ड कोर्स ओनली टिल द अवेलेबल अटेम्प्ट्स आर देयर फॉर दोज ओल्ड कोर्स एग्जाम्स. Another question is a student has completed PE2 or IPCC or PCC exams and want to appear for the CA final exam under the existing scheme. So for this, institute says that for appearing in the existing final exam under the existing scheme, a student has to register himself in the final course under existing scheme on or before 30th June 2017. तो 30 जून 2017 के पहले रजिस्टर कर लिया, ठीक है. Otherwise, he will have to compulsorily register under the new final course on or after 1st July 2017. Now the next question is that a student is going to appear in the IPCC examination on November 2017. Whether he can continue under the old scheme of CA final? So answer is no. Once you clear IPCC in November 2017, you will compulsorily have to register under the new CA final course. Another question is that if a student has cleared P2 or IPCC or PCC, whether he can continue in existing scheme for CA final in November 17 and May 2018 exams. So answer is same. If you have already registered for CA final course under the existing scheme on or before 30th June 2017, then you can continue the CA final course in old syllabus. Otherwise, you have to register yourself in the new CA final course on or after 1st July 2017. Another question is that if a student has already registered for CPT course before 30th June 2017 and by chance he want to switch over to new course, that is the foundation course, will he be allowed to switch over? So yes, answer is yes. अगर आप स्विच ओवर करना चाहते हैं न्यू कोर्स में, एनी टाइम यू कैन स्विच ओवर फ्रॉम existing course to new course. Next question is, what will be the last exam for CPT? So answer is June 2019 will be the last exam for CPT. Then again question is related to switch over. अगर आपने registration कर लिया है IPCC में and if you want to switch over to new intermediate course, you can switch over to intermediate course any point of time. So all those students who have already registered under the old scheme of course, they will have option to continue in the old scheme or they can switch over to the new scheme. Next question is, which is the last examination of IPCC course? So May 2019 will be the last examination for CA IPCC course. Another question related to switch over, if a student has already registered for final course under the existing scheme, will he be allowed to switch over to the new course? So answer is yes, at any point of time he can switch over to the new scheme of course. Next question is, which is the last examination of CA final under the existing course? So answer is November 2020 will be the last examination for CA final course under the existing scheme. Next question is, how many parallel attempts will be given to student under CPT, Foundation, IPCC, Intermediate and Final, Existing and Final, New? इसका मतलब at a time old exam भी होगी और new exam भी होगी. So in case of CPT and Foundation, there will be 3 parallel attempts, and for IPCC and Intermediate there will be 3 parallel attempts, and for CA Final Old and CA Final New there will be 6 parallel attempts. Now next question is related to registration for articleship or practical training. So if a student want to register for articleship or practical training, he will have to clear any of the intermediate group, either group 1 or group 2 of the intermediate level, and then he can commence his practical training. So it is not necessary to clear the group 1, any of the group you can clear of the intermediate level and you can start your practical training. This is applicable for foundation route students. For direct entry student, they can commence the practical training any time after completing the 4 weeks of ICI TSS. Next question is, if a student is appearing in 12th exam in the month of, let's say, March 2018, then when he can give his first attempt for the CA Foundation, or will he be eligible for CPT? So this is that under the new scheme, you can register for CA Foundation and you have to clear the 12th exam, and also there will be a gestation period of 4 months before you are eligible to appear in the CA Foundation exam. So you will be eligible for CA Foundation exam of November 2018 or onwards and not May 2018. Now let's talk about ICI TSS and Advanced ICI TSS. Earlier there were 2 types of courses: Information Technology Training, that is ITT, and Orientation Course, OC. They have been combined now and the new name is ICI TSS for intermediate course. Similarly, there were 2 courses: General Management Communications, that means GMCS, and Advanced ITT. So these 2 have been clubbed and form a course, Advanced ICI TSS. This is applicable for final course student. So both these ICI TSS and Advanced ICI TSS will be effective from 1st July 2017 and both are of 4 weeks duration each. Another question is that if a student has already gone through OC and ITT under the existing scheme, still he will have to go through again ICI TSS. So answer is no. If you have already covered these under the existing scheme, you need not to redo it in the new course. It means the certificate obtained under the existing scheme will be valid for the new course. Another question is that if a student has undergone only one type of course, let's say OC he has covered or ITT he has covered but not both. Similarly, for a final student he has covered GMCS or advanced ITT. So in such cases, the student will have to go through only the remaining part of the course. For example, ICI TSS ITT or ICI TSS OC, whatever is remaining, you can finish under the new course. Similarly, for final student also, if a student has already covered advanced ITT, then he will have to just cover the GMCS under the advanced ICI TSS. Another question is, when is ICI TSS to be undergone? So institute says that you have to complete it before commencing practical training. Whatever may be the route of entry, that is foundation route student as well as direct entry route student, they have to complete these before they commence their practical training. Next question is, when is advanced ICI TSS to be undergone? Any time during last 2 years of practical training, you can go through ICI TSS, but compulsorily before appearing for the final exam under the revised scheme or before applying for the membership of ICI under the existing scheme. Next question is, if a student is in existing scheme and has not undergone OC and ITT, then what will happen? So in this case, he will have to go through ICI TSS, which will be conducted under the new scheme. Next question is, will Board of Studies provide study material for ICI TSS and advanced ICI TSS? So answer is yes. The institute will provide the study material for both these. Next question is, will the student get a certificate after successful completion of the course, that is ICI TSS? Yes, the student will get a certificate from the concerned POU after successful completion of the course. Next question is, whether the revised syllabus will be applicable for student registered in the existing scheme. So the syllabus of GMCS and advanced ITT will be applicable for both the student registered in existing as well as the revised scheme in the course conducted with effect from 1st July 2017. And the next question is, if a student is under the existing scheme and has not undergone GMCS and advanced ITT, then in such case, whether he is required to go through advanced ICI TSS? So answer is yes. Student will have to undergo advanced ICI TSS before applying for the membership of the institute.